My path to the beginning of my dream was very difficult, so difficult that I couldn't walk at all. I could barely move on my feet. I felt very intense pain, and I needed to fully recover and regain my energy. That's why Olya and I spent the first 5 days of this trip not far from Suceava, in a peaceful small, you could say. It was a cottage house probably, but honestly it looked much more like a small, run-down chicken coop. The space inside was so limited that it could only fit one double bed, a single small table, and absolutely nothing else at all. But that was enough for us so that I could recover, regain my strength, so that the soreness in my body would disappear completely and we could continue our journey. We could make our dreams come true. Paul very kindly provided us with accommodation here. He has his own private cozy cabin here, as well as a few small rustic wooden houses scattered around the area. Considering the fact that our very first night in Suceava cost us a total of 35 euros, and it was without a doubt the absolute worst hotel I have ever seen or stayed in during my entire life, we realized that we desperately needed to find something much cheaper and at least relatively more comfortable for the rest of our stay. We found these little houses. We lived in one for 5 days. The neighboring big house had hot water, a shower, a toilet, and a large kitchen. Now we'll show it to you. But that was enough for us. Sometimes we felt very sad, plus the weather wasn't favorable for continuing our journey. That's why we decided to stay here after all. All of this cost us $100 for the entire stay. Almost 6 days. By European Union standards and by the standards of Suceava and its suburbs, that's really nothing. And we're happy with this result. During these days, our motorcycle Marshall was covered with a tarp, but the wind kept blowing it off, so we kept coming over and covering it again. And when the wind wasn't blowing the tarp off, this little black rascal here would help it along. Paul is quite democratic and, as far as I understood, a very religious person. You can talk to him, you can negotiate with him, and he's quite friendly. When we were searching online, we were looking for the cheapest option. And we were very surprised when we saw a huge number of positive reviews about this person, about his house that you can rent, where you can relax. There's a lake here where you can go fishing. There's a ton of fish here, and they're so big, it's just unbelievable. But unfortunately, we don't have a fishing rod, and there's absolutely nowhere nearby where we could buy one. Well, while tomorrow we'll be driving around and filming the roads of Romania for you, I suggest you watch a video from Suceava Castle, which we visited one day and filmed especially for you, so to speak, as an appetizer. A little appetizer before our big journey. Today is already Friday, and good weather is forecast for tomorrow. And I'm absolutely certain that tomorrow morning, as planned, we'll start our journey.